Vart leder den här någonstans? Money! Och magnesium är för min moral. The wind holes in from the coal shoot above. Okej. Okay. Men jag kan knappt gå någonting. En björn! Hans ögon lyser. The ice cream maker defrosted and vad var det? Vad var det där? A flashlight cast a strange shadow. There's a hidden doorway here. Oh, nice! Money! Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath this. No.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall.
Alltså,
it's too dark to see.
Ha det bra, jätten! Simma lugnt! Det här spelet är brutalt underbart, får jag säga ändå. Om man gillar det här, om man kan acceptera spelet i sig, så är det här grymt. Game on, mannen! Where are we? Look around the secret room. Look, there's a hole in the wall.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Ja, jag säger så här. Jag spelar på Nintendo Switch. Jag har det också till Steam. Men eftersom jag hittade det till Switch. Jag gillar ju spel fysiskt. Och det var ju, ska vi se. Nu har jag inte fodralet precis här då. Men vad hette det? Final. Vi kan kolla lite. Final Cut. Och det var inte den utgåvan som jag hade på Steam. Köpt en gång i tiden. Så därför plockar jag upp det här till Switch. Så du märker ju att det kanske inte spelar alltid bäst så. Men definitivt underbart. Och kanske liksom spela en karaktär på ett annat sätt. Men har du bra, jätten? Har du bra?
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
I do!
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Rifles, Kim!
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest. But one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock in better cosmetic order.
Den här kan vi sälja för pengar.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
What does this mean? A rifle here?
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting.
Den där kan vi nog få flis för.
Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
Men alltså, det finns inget mer, eller?
A few bricks have fallen off.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. It means there are.
He likes this find.
Okej, så bra. Där. A frozen ice cream maker is still running. Nosafin, en healing item. 70, nu, vi tjänar flis här nere.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box.
Okay.
The red one leads off into the darkness, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
Ska vi göra glass nu?
Don't rip the red one out. You'll awaken the ghosts.
Okay, giant red cable.
An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now.
Leave. Undrar om det är teddybjörnen som... Take all. Insane mesh tank top. Och så nu har vi... vänta. Vi är alltså i källaren någonstans. Innan vi springer och kollar trappan där så vill jag ju kolla mer i rummet här. Precis, kolla.
You see the looming shadow of an ice bear with a strange compartment.
Hans ögon lös ju rätt förut, vilket jag misstänkte var läskigt.
The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy?
Taxidermy. What is this thing? It looks like a giant iceberg.
The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes glued to the animal. It's dark inside.
Så jag tror nog att det var smart av oss att stänga av den innan, om man säger så.
A faint waft of cold air rolls out. You hear the sound of dripping water. This is the inside of a defrosting refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside.
Relax,
his
Kim.
hand has found the holster of his gun.
Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge.
Yes. He relaxes his hand, his face bathed in a harsh light of the opening fridge door.
Let's take a look inside.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Take the note from the door.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Okay. Examine one of the ice cream wrappers in there.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge.
What is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place?
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
One of the wrappers he tries to sell in the dark. So they try to sell a cream from this hyper carnivore.
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice.
Yes, of course.
At least it's not running them a loss anymore, now that you've unplugged the cable.
He points at the red snaky cable running from...
The fridge sits empty before you. An overindulgent wardrobe. Now that...
Okej, men om vi hoppar in här. Vi fick ju någonting... Clothes, då ska vi kolla här. Clinically insane! Where did you even get that one? No, really, who put it in the drawer? No further comments. Wear it at your own risk. Clinically insane, drama. Okej, det var intressant så. Oj. Items. 11. Told you. Interact.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
No. Lens closer.
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active.
But read the note.
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Suliswaf.
I wonder who wrote this note.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
Maybe it's because of the entity.
That's implausible.
Remind me again, what is the filament memory?
It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer.
Okay.
Really? You don't have a single guess?
You mean Kuno?
Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
Do you have an idea where a frozen ice cream maker could be?
I don't know.
I know.
I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge.
Didn't you see one right next to the breaker box?
Men vi ska upp så ja.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar. If you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar.
Equip the pry bar by going to the tools tab.
I will.
Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur. What better to a sweat?
Ja, pry bar innan jag glömmer det. Det var ju därför vi... Items, tools ska vi till. Pry bar.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine.
Pry bar
It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
Better grip with gloves, men vi har minus 20 för att pry bar är not strong enough. Vi har inte en chans, men vi testar. Vänta, leave.
Only the black cable is something close to you.
Why did you do that?
It's black, it's not like the red one, because it's black, a color of immersible cosmos.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Okay, leave.
This orange machine is dead
Machine
still.
unplugged.
It
Okay,
has
vi fick
a
plus 2.
hand-cranked
Men vi
ice
prövar.
cream churner, and the ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You think you've got the bar jammed in there pretty well, but the lid simply won't budge. You see the pry bar's metal handle bending right before your very eye.
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it. But this ice cream maker is frozen shut. It takes an advanced tool to get it open. I have no idea, officer. This ice cream maker isn't important enough to requisition a special tool.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will know what's in this mysterious ice cream.
Put skill points into physical instrument to open a... Okej, leave. Då gör vi så här då.
Both cables are unplugged from the break.
Leave. Innan vi gör någonting annat som sagt. Vi ska fortsätta kolla den övre delen här. Nej, sluta. Där.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Kim, what is this thing? It's a furnace.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs.
Samt.
What are you doing?
Climb halfway inside the furnace. I'm hallucinating, or maybe it's the entity. I heard the murder of the hangman talking. I'm not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs.
Wait, really? Take your head out of the chimney, please. It's not safe.
So it's safe.
It feels safe to know that the lieutenant's got your back, now and always.
Hello!
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Hello?
you've awakened the entity.
This police, who's there? I summoned the ghost of this doomed commercial area. Answer me, spirit.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer. Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to
Nu
the
måste vi
chimney.
starta upp i level också, tycker jag.
No one has used it in ages.
No.
No signs of any recent fire.
Smear your hands with
Only
coal.
dead rats.
Självklart.
A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Your hands look ancient. You feel the spirit of Ramut Karzai, ancient hero of Grad, pulsing through you.
All it's
All
left
that's
to cover your
left is
face.
to cover your face in war paint.
Yes, war paint! Adramut Karzai. Smear your cheeks black with coal.
3 dangerous stripes appear onto your cheeks.
Yes.
Telling stories of your wild soul.
Yeah!
What are you doing?
I am the reincarnation of an ancient Ilmaran warrior.
Please wipe your face clean, officer.
No, you're a proud warrior. Keep it.
Kim doesn't trust you. Okay, I'm gonna keep it.
These 3 stripes
Yes!
give you strength in
We
this
keep it.
dangerous realm. It would be foolish to remove them.
We're exploring this dark place. I need to protection my war paint affords.
And this protects you.
This is a traditional war paint that will grant me safe passage with the spirit that guard this place. I give him a
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
experience.
Just pointing out, this is not traditional Chinese war paint. No idea where you got it.
It doesn't matter.
You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected, but malignant entities don't exist. At least not the supernatural kind.
Always has to be the skeptic, this man.
Kick with your foot, då får vi säkert då ta, jag vill inte, jag vågar inte. Vi brukar, för när vi har sparkat tidigare med foten sådär, då har vi liksom blivit av med hälsa. Därför känner jag att jag inte gör det nu. Vi har ju en passage uppåt att gå. Här nere kollade vi ju allting. Ja. Kommer vi ut nu på baksidan av tomten eller? Nej, vi kommer in där. Nice, då vet du det. Då ska vi självklart springa upp och kolla våning uppåt här då. Det här spelet bara öppnar upp sig mer och mer vart efter liksom. Jag har fortfarande ingen lösenord. Här är trappan som jag... Okej. Den verkar inte leda direkt någonstans. Så ska vi se. Puddle of melting snow. Take all. La Delta 51st. Who the fuck is this? Okej, innan vi börjar ställa frågor till den här mannen så ska vi kolla. Vi fick ett vykort här. Och så är det sunlight. Prepaid. Han måste bli skitskraj nu ja.
Hello.
Hon menar jag. Dicemaker. A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius.
She taps on her headphones.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. She's got a direct view to the backyard.
You should
interrogate her about the lynching.
What do you mean by milieu? You must have confused with someone else. Have knocked on your window.
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
Headphones on the table.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind? I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
Inte riktigt va?
Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Sure, I like role-playing games. I need some dice. Maybe I'm not really sure why I'm here, honestly. No, I was looking for something else. Squint your eyes mysteriously. Answers. I'm not interested in buying dice right now. I'm a police officer. No.
Answers? How strange. These days people only come to me for dice and role-playing games. I'm not sure how helpful I'll be, but go ahead and ask.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shells like stalagmites. This person means you, or no one else, absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
How did you become a dice maker?
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there. Not especially.
Fråga mig bara rakt igenom
with
här.
rare materials and a
Jag kan få
steady
XP.
pay. And role players as customers, they're nice people.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items. She's thankful for the security they provide her.
I like to order a die from you. What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity.
Yes!
The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
Daily? What do you mean by the daily ruckus? And you never took your eyes off the work to look out the window?
Well, there's always something going on in the whirling's backyard.
Example.
During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid. I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness.
Okej, vi ska gå vidare här.
It's an odd profession, making dice for people.
But I like it.
And I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
She nods.
Anything else, officer? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
She looks up at the ruddy bricks to make up the walls. Even though they have been repainted there are still signs of coal black soot here and there.
But when I arrived
Visst är vi
here,
krigsmålade
all
också,
the
glöm
other
inte
rooms
det.
were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Creative.
Do you know what happened to the other tenants everyone else has gone? I heard this place is cursed. Do you know what about the people call the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
She nods as the wind howls in from the furnace shaft above, but I don't think those stories are. Wait, how do you explain what happened to all those companies then? So is she convinced that the place swarming with malicious energies?
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
She has Zimoni's trinkets protecting her against the curse. The curse is just biding its time before it strikes again. Sooner or later everyone will fail, even her.
Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Whirling, doomed or commercial, yes, but it's still separate building in the malicious. No. Took off and customers having trouble paying bills.
And then there is me.
All kind of tool lying there scattered from the knives carving files.
I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
Det här var en jobbig dialog, okej. You're the source of it, the malignant entity. It's because you're competent that I can craft the curse as I think. Because you have no doubt about it, he just doesn't care about the earthly time frames.
Malignant entity? What does that even mean? Some kind of sorceress?
Yes.
What about you, officer? Do you think I'm the malignant
Oh,
entity?
do you think?
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
Honestly, I'm still not sure. This world is a puzzling place. I'm starting to see that there is no curse, only business decision and natural market fluctuation.
So I'm the grand dragon in the cave.
Yes, you
Might I
are.
ask what supports this claim?
I yelled to summon the ghost of the doomed commercial era and you were the one who answered. There is something ghostly about you, even ethereal, even squint your eyes especially. You're the last man standing. You must be responsible.
Ethereal? Thank you, but I think it's just the lighting.
No.
No, it's the troubled color of her energetic vibrations.
You're anywhere off. I sense tragedies in your past, darling.
Of course you do. Show me a person in Martinez who doesn't have any tragedies in their past, and then we'll talk. If you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies in the curse, then let me know.
That's all she has to say on the subject. She has been. Plaisance needs to hear about this. Perhaps if you combine your psychic energies, you will make sense of the situation.
Ska vi beställa vänta nu ska vi se. Do you know what happened? Why hasn't her business failed? Shit, do you know what happened to the other tenants I was
More
gone?
or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind.
There used to be a hair salon here, right?
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad.
What's wrong with a bit of experiment? The customer should have been more open-minded. I would never let anyone other unit touch my hair, not even if my life depend on it.
You're right. It looks like you haven't let anyone near your hair in a long time.
No. It tells her looking at your shaggy mane.
She's right. When was the last time? You should get an unandrogynous crew cut.
What happened to the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
And who was Artemitep?
A kind man from Zhensk.
Artemitep.
I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
Giving back. Maybe that was the Kuno needs a community-centering boxing club.
Kuno? Who's Kuno?
He's sort of the king around here. He's a little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies.
Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth? Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard.
On me.
I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
Okay, so how did that community project work out? Judging from the kids I've met so far, I don't really work, did it? No.
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
You should have known it. It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
Broken windows.
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milias. Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed?
What's the snuff milieu?
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
Oh, very cool about the debris. What about the snuff milieu? It's a shame about those windows.
It's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that, as if it's just another piece of information to lay out for the world. What does she mean to get off on it?
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-browsers. This isn't our problem.
Yes, it is.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators.
Mycket dialog kvar. Did someone make a stuffed animal of mounts lying around?
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist?
Taxidermist?
No, he mostly just did drugs.
But what drugs exactly?
I need to know what drugs he was doing for my police report.
He got high on some weird taxidermy chemicals.
I'm
I
expert.
wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Eventually, they caused him to lose control of his bladder. The smell
That
was
was awful.
Even you can probably do better than that.
Yes.
You can almost see it. A small, sickly old man, hunched behind his work desk, his pants stained with old piss, stuffing a sad, stiff-legged raccoon dog. The entire scene looks tragic.
I found no creepy mannequins.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
I didn't know the insect had any rights or activists.
Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
I'm glad that someone took care of the little guys. I like insect. But insects don't have any brains or feelings. They got what they deserve, making clothes out of beetle wings is terrible.
Actually, insects do have brains.
Hey.
But yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little
Hold
too
on,
far.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
They're dead.
Anything else?
Rotor blades and
They were
skis.
made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashkor or wherever he is.
That's illegal, running off a company money like that. He hasn't been arrested.
Sure, it's illegal, but it's not exactly anything extraordinary in business. Besides, Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around.
They were just props. Why return them?
Why return them? I found a strange machine.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
I some remnants of a memory lights up her
She
face.
liked them.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
What do you mean liberal? What happened?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times.
She looks at the hallway as she can still hear them chit-chat behind the curtains on a cigarette break.
They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
From what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive. Really, they must have been a gigantic attempt.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism.
Always.
You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time.
Yes.
She's right. Showing up to work on time is important. Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult.
Especially
if you've veterans.
Well, showing up to work on time is incredibly hard. It's too bad. I would have supported them. The project looks great. You're right. They should have just tried harder. Night.
And so is producing
I'm
something
XP.
extraordinary.
Her eyes wandered to the shelves full of dye prototypes and discarded models.
Something strains her face before she looks up again.
Anything else?
Ja. Nu börjar det ta slut här. There was a terrifying taxidermy beer in the cellar.
Oh boy, the fabled Revo Show ICT. You're in for a treat here.
Smiles and leans closer, hands on her knees like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story.
The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
There was really just one. And it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Sounds like she really didn't like those girls.
No.
Fritte does the same thing.
Fritte does the same thing. I know a girl just like that. She works in Fritte as a cashier and she's not practical or friendly. What did they expect? 20 cents per hour is dogs pay. I'm surprised they showed up. That's an award-winning idea. How else do you choose people around?
Yeah, some people spend their whole lives chasing the hot one. You should have joined the gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the stand, ready to scare off customers and hit on the girls. As if they didn't already have the bear.
He closes her eyes, he's remembering something painful.
The bear.
He repeats, pressing thumbs into her templates like trying to suppress the headache.
Of course not. The bear was terrifying.
Yes, it
No
was.
one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Ravishore ICT lost the price war to its rival, Class A 5000. Class A 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
I killed the bear. You unplugged it. The bear was scary. Every time I saw a bear, I felt scared, like I could become an... I'm sure the bear was doing its best. No, I killed the bear.
You did what?
She's an inch closer to you, unsure whether she heard you right. I had to kill the bear to become the bear. I murdered it with my own bare hands. I laid it to rest. It's my trophy now. I unplugged it.
I can see the stripes.
The bear put up quite a fight.
That bear was one mighty mammal.
Yeah.
The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherian.
Megatherian.
Sounds cool.
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
Yes.
Maybe this wise and noble beast can guide you toward those amphetamines
Yes.
you've been craving. The horrific necktie tightens around your neck, strangely excited. But it doesn't feel particularly fun.
I don't do
this
that. I
time
do
around.
drugs. I got a wishing beast myself. Hey, do you think that wishing beast could guide me towards some amphetamine?
I don't, officer. You should stay away from drugs and vision beasts.
No.
Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire. Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for... Oh boy.
Jag ska se om vi ska bara...
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
Of course. Eventually, Ravishore ICT lost the price war. Maybe he said that
Sounds cool.
Megatherian, a mega wild beast. It's an imaginary by telling you to...
Maybe this wise and noble beast can guide. The horrific necktie tightens around your neck.
What?
Gjorde vi fel? Nothing kartan eller ett...
No, officer. Normal people don't have vision beasts. Only drug-addled madmen like the taxidermist do.
I'm a normal person, I don't have vision beast.
Right. Anyway, anything else?
Okej, jag verkar inte få någon
Another
expedit.
failed business, perhaps?
Ska vi se. Nia,
I've
building
been here
intercom
for-
was not working.
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion. The one with an empty name card. It's the last one in the list. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
So you're telling me that which doorbell there, which...
The one with an empty name?
Oh.
Sure, I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
Yeah, white check. Okay, I have more questions. Okay.
You feel nothing. If
Start to take
anything,
off your
it's
clothes.
uncomfortably
You need to
warm
connect!
in here.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
The dive mysteriously while you start to first off your pants.
Officer!
The zipper is stuck. It's just me or it's hot in here. I'm trying to lower my body temperature. It's part of this special technique here. Never mind. Okay, it's the zipper. It's stuck.
Oh no, not the zipper.
At our table with a chair looking for something to grab from the toolbar. It's zipper. It's just me. It's hot in here.
And what technique is that?
He squints at you a little astonished at what he's hearing. You still haven't gotten your zipper over. Or hear me out. Sometimes I get these feelings.
Miss, I apologize for my colleague's behavior. He's still recovering from an unusual medical episode.
Nay.
Officer, this isn't how mature adults deal with their feelings.
Now you feel something. The cold damp of shame washing over you.
Skit också. Min moral bara sjunker ibland. It's like I can feel the wind or I don't know the air pressure and then the air to...
The air pressure told you to take your pants off in my studio?
It did!
This is not going very well, is it? Word-wise.
Yes, exactly.
Can you please employ this special technique somewhere else? I work here and my work requires concentration. Half-naked people don't help with that.
Okay, leave.